Okay, so we're recording. Sup guys? I'm back with another video. So, I think the right way for me to do this format is to just try to go off the rails, just talk about topics that interest me. And today we have an interesting topic indeed. So, let's have a look. So this is the article from SAYS and also the Star. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but a 15-year-old girl from Terengganu is charged with murdering a newborn baby. So this girl was actually raped last year, and she killed her newborn baby boy. So the newborn baby boy was found dead with chest injuries believed to have been stabbed with a sharp object at a house in Kemaman. So very gruesome story we have here, and unfortunately I don't think that this is the first. This is one of many similar cases over the years. So there's a Vice article about it, very interesting, how Malaysia failed a 15-year-old charged with murdering her baby born of rape. And last I checked, if I'm not mistaken, the dude that actually raped her is still out free. I think they couldn't find him. I remember reading it in an article somewhere. I'll try to cite it if I find it, but yeah, don't quote me on that. I remember that he's still, on the run or something like that. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this topic because I want to talk about how especially in this country, reproductive rights is not really being seen as an important topic. This is obviously a very extreme case. The girl was raped, stabbed her newborn baby. Very gruesome, but there are a lot less extreme cases which are just as bad, especially for girls her age. So when we are young, I don't know how things are these days. I'm not that old, I'm just like 23. So I went to school not long ago, but back when I was in school, sex education was still seen as a very taboo topic. Whenever the teacher spoke about sex, the guys would just laugh, and the girls would just give awkward stares, and it was just a disaster. Like, okay, everyone used to make that joke about form 3, chapter 4, form 3, chapter 4. It's not really being seen as a serious thing, and even that, you just tackle the scientific aspects of reproduction. You don't go through the human rights aspect of reproduction or safety during reproduction. You don't go through all that, and I believe the reason for that is because it is seen as why would these kids need to know how to practice safe sex, how to recognize what is sex at that age. But because of that lack of exposure, kids become vulnerable to being abused, and the worst part is they don't even know that they are being abused. So sex education is still last when I was in the system, it was still pretty terrible. I remember when I was 12, Indians have this ceremony that they do. I don't think they're doing it as much nowadays, but it's like a ceremony after the girls come of age. They'll have like a ceremony done at home for the girl, and I think I was 12 at the time when that ceremony was held for my sister, and I had no idea what was going on. just absolutely uh, zero knowledge of what was happening. It was just like, oh, okay. No, I was 12, but 12-year-old these days are very smart. I noticed that kids are becoming more and more smart. You can't really you can't really lie to them. uh, I like the good old days when you could lie to kids and make them believe stuff. Recently, one of my relatives' kids, I think he's like 8, 7, if I'm not mistaken, and his dad told me that he has an interest in dinosaurs. So um, he really likes dinosaurs. He reads a lot about them, and I tried to trick this kid into thinking that I've seen dinosaurs before. So told him that, oh, I've seen dinosaurs before. There's a place called Jurassic Park, and I've been there. And this kid is like quizzing me. Oh wait, then how does this dinosaur look like, or how does that dinosaur look like? And he could tell that I was lying. So it's not fun anymore that you can't lie to kids anymore. Yeah, I would have believed that when I was his age. So kids these days, with the kind of exposure to technology and information that they have from a young age, are very smart. Yet, you know um, those are facts. Those are black and white. Things like sex education is a very complex topic for kids to understand, and they should, from a young age, because we see so many cases of young kids being touched inappropriately by even their own parents. Sometimes their own father, their uncles, um, seemingly innocent things like having a niece sit on your lap is even considered. uh, they have ulterior motives when they do things like that. And it's not just girls who are affected by this, it's young boys that are being affected by this. I know in certain religious institutions that even in places like that, people are being raped, being molested. So nowhere is safe. Okay. And it is the parents' responsibility, it is the education system's responsibility to know, to teach these kids that uh, that what is right and what is wrong. What touch is okay and what touch isn't, because they genuinely do not know. Okay, oh, my dad is touching me in the groin, or touching me on my chest, and then these kids, they don't understand that that is wrong, you know that they think that's fine. And when they grow older and they remember those things, uh, and they are mature enough to understand what was going on at their age, that's just going to traumatize them for the rest of their lives, because they feel cheated. They were unaware that what was happening to them is wrong, and it's going to have very profound psychological effects. So why is sex such a hard thing to teach? Okay, from what I can tell, people think that teaching kids about sex is just going to encourage them to have more sex. Okay, and what, I don't entirely disagree with that statement. Okay, because a lot of kids who might be um, thinking twice before doing something like that might be encouraged to do it after they know how to do it safely. Okay, and what I'm talking about is like barrier contraception and things like that. Okay, because I assume that a small fraction of kids are smart enough to understand that you know that you put this into this and it leads to that. So They might be scared, and once they know how to do it safe, they'll be a bit more daring. And you know what? I think that might be true, but it accounts for a small percentage, because for in my opinion, I think most of these kids don't even know what they're doing. You know, it's it happens because of passion, because of heat of the moment thing. Okay, they just they don't know what's going on. But let's look at it this way. So what if there are more people doing it? Okay, let's say we have like I don't know, 500 teenagers having sex right now, and maybe like 20 of them get pregnant. Okay, because of the lack of sexual education. Now you have instituted a proper syllabus, proper education for these kids to teach them how to have sex safely. So now 1,000 of them are having sex, but maybe there's only like 5 of them getting pregnant. So which is better? You may have your own opinions on whether premarital sex is okay or not, and things like that. But I feel like the most important thing is the quality of life of our teenagers and our kids, instead of your own ideology, your own beliefs. So what does it matter what your beliefs are if children are getting pregnant? um, so educate these kids, okay? So stop with that ancient thinking of oh, we're just going to encourage more kids to go and have sex. So what? Okay, it's already happening. I used to make a joke saying that the you know they will tetap menggatal either way. You cannot stop them. So whether or not you teach them, they are still going to be doing it. So you might as well reduce the amount of teen pregnancies at the same time. Okay, and I think there is like sex education being introduced. uh, Even if it is being introduced, I feel like we still have a lot of hurdles before we can it can't just happen at the governmental level. Okay, let's say that all of a sudden things change, and the government decides, okay, we're gonna start teaching proper sex education in schools. Okay, the government has made their move. Okay, now it is the parents' move, because not all the parents are going to agree with that move by the government. Okay, again, because of their own beliefs, their own ideology, they are going to disagree with it, they are going to protest against it, and they are going to cause a lot of problems in initiating this plan. And it's not just the parents, even the teachers themselves have their own beliefs, and some of them just suck at teaching. I've seen a lot of really poor teachers back then, and imagine if teaching maths, it's like so difficult for them already. Imagine teaching something like sex education. So obviously there's a lot of hurdles that we have to go through, but in this era, right, I feel like it if the school cannot do it, parents should do it. Like, information is readily available everywhere. You can learn almost anything online these days. So it is up to the parents to actually educate their children on what's right and what's wrong. Even if the government doesn't, we can't be expecting the government to do everything, because they can't get the tiny things right. So imagine a move like this, it's going to be very difficult. Yeah, I just hope more people see things objectively. All ideology and your own beliefs is doing is just limiting what you can be. It's limiting what you can do. Okay, we need to have rational thinking at the same time, and the more we delay this, we are just gonna keep having, cases like this. Okay, so let's try to look at things objectively from here on out. So that's just my 2 cents on this issue. Thank you guys for listening, and hope to be back with a new video soon. Bye guys.